are joined. Remaining, please join fast. Okay. So here, divide and conquer is the model 2. So in divide and conquer, we are starting with the skeleton diagram of divide and conquer. So what is divide and conquer actually? We are having a problem. That problem has to be divided into subpart. For example, the problem is having size of n. We are having n size problem. Let's consider 6-digit number we are having in array. That has to be sorted out. What we have to do? The 6-digit number, six particular array positions has to be splitted in the form of 3 and 3. And again, further it will divide into single array. Each and every position will be divided. Then we have to merge it. This is until dividing we are doing this part. Then we have to merge the array. So while you are merging the array, what we have to do is we have to sort and merge. It will sort the array and it will merge. And again it will just merge the further array, and finally we will have the list of array in a sorted array manner. So that I will show you example diagram so that you can able to understand that. Now as of now you just understand the skeleton diagram. The skeleton diagram what we are having is problem of size n. Problem of size n, as I told, this array size 5, sorry 6. So 6 is the n value. So now what we are doing, sub problem of size n by 2. So n by 2 mean by what is the size of n? 6. So 6 divided by 2, what happens? 3. So 3 and 3 we are making here. So this side 3 and this side also 3. Solution of the subproblem 1 and solution of the subproblem 2 we are getting actually. So further the n divided by 2 will be divided into individual values. Then they are merging that, and when they are merging they will get the solution for the original problem. So this is the skeleton diagram. You have to understand how they are splitting the given problem and how they are merging the problem. So for this, I will show you one example so that you can easily understand how it works. So I will stop present and I will open a new presentation. Students are able to see the diagram what I'm showing with you.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the diagram, students? Okay. So please listen carefully. If you understand this, the entire divide and conquer problem statement you can able to understand. So what is the question down? You can see divide and conquer approach to sort the list 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10. These are the numbers we are having in increasing order. These are not in the increasing order. We have to make in the increasing order. So we have to split the particular list in the form of two sublists, and then further what we have to do, we have to go for the lower half. So let's see the list. So what is the list size? List size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So n value is 7. Keep in mind n value is 7. So n divided by 2. N divided by 2, what is the value of n divided by 2? 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2. Please interact with me. Students, please interact with me. So 7 divided by 2 we are having. What is the value 7 divided by 2?
3.5.
3.5.
3.5.
Am I correct?
3.5, sir.
3.5. So 3.5 means we are taking 4. So first 4 elements we are taking in your left hand side, whatever the elements in the list. The first 4 elements we are taking in your left hand side, and remaining 3 we are having in the right hand side. Did you understand this, students? So 4 and 3 we are having. So n divided by 2 we are applied. So n divided by 2, what happens? 3.5 and 3.5 it will come. So 3.5 means first half you are taking 4 and second half you are taking 3. Okay. Next what we are doing, we are splitting further. So here it is 4, here it is 3. Again you have to apply n divided by 2. The n value is, what is the n value here? What is the n value here?
4.
For this
4.
list, what is the n value, pa? 4. What is this? What is the n value for this list? What is the n value
3.
for this list? 3. So here when you are applying n divided by 2, what you will get? 4 divided by 2. 4 divided by 2, what you will get? 2. So first 2 elements of the list you are splitting here. Second 2 elements of the list you are splitting here. Now What the n divided by 2 for this particular list? N value is 3. So 3 divided by 2, what the value you will get? 3 divided by
1.5.
2. 1.5. So what you have to do, you have to take first two elements in the first list and the remaining one element in the second split up. So split up, yeah, here we are changing. When you are taking the entire list, we are taken 4 and here it is 3. The same way when you are taking 3, first we are taking 2 and next we are taking 1 according to the formula n divided by 2. Then further we are splitting, we are just taking the entire thing. So again, the n formula we have to apply. What is n value here? What is n value here?
2.
2.
2.
2. What is n value here?
2.
2.
What is n value here? 2. What is n value here?
2.
2.
2. What is n value here? Last one.
1.
1.
1. Very good. So now what we have to do is we have to apply the same formula n divided by 2. So yeah, 2 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2, 1. So we have to split further to 1, 1. We have to split further to 1, 1. So here also n divided by 2, that is 1. So 1, 1 you have to split. Here also n divided by 2, it is 1. So 1, 1 you have to split. So here, what is the rule for when you are having a single element? You have to return the same element. That is the rule. So for this algorithm, if you are having a single element, you should not apply the n divided by 2 formula. You have to return the same element as it is. So what we are getting 38, 27, 43, 3, 9, 82, 10. So what we done, we splitted every individual element as a separate piece. So here we are getting nearly all 7 elements as a separate elements. Now until this, the divide part will be get over. I hope you understand the division part, dividing part of the entire thing from the starting until the division part you understood, because we are applying the formulas n divided by 2. With use of n divided by 2, we are splitting the elements one by one in each level. Now further, what we are doing, we are conquering. So until this we divided, now we are conquering. Conquering mean by what? We are joining the elements. So for joining the elements, what we have to do, we have to just check the value, whether the value, whatever the value we are having, it's greater than or less than. So we have to compare those values. So less than value has to come at first and greater than value has to go at second. We have to make the list in the incremental order. Keep in mind, we have to make the list in the incremental order. For that reason, what we have to do while concurring, while joining the list, you have to put the least value at the starting and the greater element in the next. So that is the idea you have to follow. Now in the second level, can you tell me what is the value we are having? 43 and 3. So while you are joining these two elements, we are having 3 and 43. The least value will become at first and the bigger value will be go at second. The same way, we are having 9 and 82. 9 and 82, the 9 value will be smaller than 82. So it will come at first and 82 will be go at second. Next 10, we are having a single element. When you are having a single element, it will be written as it is. So 10 will become as it is. Now what we are doing, we are merging this 2 and this 2. So when you are merging this 2, what happens? Which is the greater value and which is the smallest value? Can you tell me? Which is the smallest value when you are merging these two lists?
3, sir.
3.
3 is the smallest value. Next to that, next smallest value, we are putting 3. Next to smallest value is 27. Okay, 27 we are making. Next to that, 38 we are making. Next to that, 43 we are making. These are the 4 values we are sorting while you are merging the two lists. So when you are merging the list, you have to identify the smallest value that has to come at first and next smallest like that. I mean by next value, next greater value than the smallest. You have to make it. So you have to make the list in the incremental order. When you are merging this three thing, we are getting the smallest value as 9. Next to that, we are getting 10. Next to that, we are getting 82. So while you are merging like this, it will come as 9, 10, and 82. Okay. Now you are just having the final merge
Yes,
value.
no, sir.
So we are having two lists. Yeah, tell me.
Can you please let in Kajal, sir?
It's auto admit. Tell her to give the request again. whether she joined or not. Can we continue? I am not
Yes, sir.
accepting anybody. It's auto admit. So it will automatically accept the request. Okay. So final merge, what we are doing in the last, we have to merge these two lists, 3, 27, 38, 43, 9, 10, 82. So these two lists we are merging in this, which is the least one, 3 is the least one. Next value is 9. Next value is 10. Next value is 27. Next to that 38 we are having. Next to that 43 we are having. Then next to that 82 we are having. So we are getting the sorted list at last, and we are having the list in the incremental order. So 3, 9, 10, 27, 38, 43, 82. So this is the incremental order of the list. So any doubt in this divide and conquer diagram, students? If you have any doubts, please ask me now. I will rectify your doubts. Any doubts, students? Any doubts? Okay. So let's go to the PPT now. So I hope you understand the example problem what I shown to you. With use of that problem, you see the skeleton diagram. The skeleton diagram, what we are having, the n divided by 2, for that is used for dividing the entire problem into two different parts. And further also, for further division also, we are applying the same formula, n divided by 2. After completion of division, we are conquering, we are joining the entire thing. While joining, you have to sort the values and join, and until final joining, the entire list will be joined. While you are seeing the values in the entire list, we are having the values in the form of incremental order. So this is the way how we are approaching the divide and conquer problem. Okay, so for that problem only they made the skeleton diagram. If you understand the problem, the entire module will go easy. If you have doubt, please ask me. I will help you in understanding this. For this particular thing, whatever the skeleton diagram we had, for this skeleton diagram, we are just having an algorithm. So what is the algorithm? You can easily understand this algorithm. I will explain you in that such a way. So we are having a method algorithm DNC of P they are making. No, D and C mean by divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, they are making as a method name. D and C they are making here, and P is the value what they are passing. Whether the n value what they are passing, that they are named as P. So for our exercise, the n value is 7. And if you are having n value of 6, you have to pass the P value as 6. If your P value is 1, you have to pass me. If you are having a single value, our P value will be 1. Okay, in spite of n, they gave P here. Opening the algorithm, if small p, then return sp. So what is this mean by? If there is a single element, if our in our thing, in our exercise example, what I shown, the last element what we have is a single element. For that I told we should not able to apply the formula for that element. If you are having a single element, that will be repeat as the same. So that only they are explaining in this if condition. If the element is small, mean by a single element, then return the same element. That what they are explaining in the if condition. Else, if you are having multiple elements, if you are having the size of n as 6, if you are having the size of n as more than 7, what we seen in the last example, then we have to go for divide and conquer. So what we are doing actually, divide p into smaller instances. So p1, p2, pk. So k greater than equal to 1. So what happens actually? So we are applying the n divide by 2 formula and splitting the entire list into smaller instances, individual instances. So that will be come under dividing way. Then what we are doing after this part, the first statement, we are just going for applying the divide and conquer for each sub problems. So after applying after dividing the particular problem into smaller instances, what we are doing, we are merging everything, and each smaller problem whatever we are doing, for that we are just check the values in the particular node, whether it is greater or smaller. If it is greater, we have to put in the next value. If it is smaller, we have to put in the first. So it should be look like in the incremental way. So that way we are doing. So next, what they are doing, return combine. In this combine, what they are combining, all the sub elements they are combining and returning to the particular called place. Mean by the final answer, combine means all the list will be combined at last. The final answer will be sent to the caller place where you are calling the method. In that place it will go, and that we are storing in a variable and displaying the output. So this way this particular algorithm will work. So how the algorithm works, we are having, if element is single element, we are returning the same element. We are keeping the element as it is. If the element is higher, the n value is higher. If the n value is 6, then we are just doing the division, dividing the elements and making as a smaller instance. After making smaller instance, we are just applying the divide and conquer, and we are just conquer the values. We are joining the values, and while joining, we are just sorting the values. We are just finding which is greater and which is smaller. We are just making in the form of incremental order. After that final combination, we are just getting the final result of all the lists, and we are sending the final list to the called place where we call this particular method. So this is the algorithm for divide and conquer. So next to this, what we are having, this is the general method what we learned at first. Now we are going for recurrence equation. So I hope you understand the skeleton diagram and the algorithm what we seen. Now we are going for the recurrence equation. Let's see the recurrence equation. So the same thing what we discussed in the skeleton diagram and what we discussed in the algorithm, that they given in the form of mathematical way, the mathematical equation way they represented the same algorithm. So if you deeply understand this particular equation, it's easy to observe and easy to understand this particular equation. Let's see the equation. If the size of the problem P is n and the size of the K is the subproblems is said to be n1, n2 and nk respectively. So what they are telling, the size of the problem, the entire problem. So we are having 6 elements, n value is 6, that they are representing here as a P. So P is the size of the entire problem. So 6, let's see. Then we are having the size of K, that represents the sub problems. That K will be represented as n1, n2, nk, like that. So how much time you are dividing, how much time you are making the sub problem from the original problem, how much time you are making the sub problem, how much dividing thing you are doing, that will be considered as n1, n2 until nk. So with use of this, they are writing the divide and time of divide and conquer. T of n represents time of divide and conquer method. So in this case, n value represents the input size. So time of execution for the divide and conquer, that will be taken as g of n. G of n, if you are having g of n, mean by if your element is one element, then the same element will be repeated again. So we are not applying the divide and conquer for a single element. Whatever the element you are having, that will become as it is. For that reason, we are having g of n. G of n mean by the n value is small. If the n value is higher, we have to divide the values. For that, we are making the formulas t of n1 plus t of n2 plus until t of nk plus f of n. So if the n value is small, we have the formulas g of n. If the n value is bigger, if it is going 6 or if it is going 5 or 7, then we have to go for the formulas t of n1 plus t of n2 plus until t of nk plus f of n. So here, what is the thing actually? The function f of n is used to represent, f of n is used to represent the function actually. The divide and conquer, the entire divide and conquer time will be the combination of the time of n1, n2, nk, and f of n will be resembles the total time taken by the divide and conquer method. For example, if we have the number of values as 7, your dividing time will be very less. Think of if the n value is 50 or n value is 100, n value is 500, you are having 500 elements in the particular problem. So 500 elements, you think of how much time you have to divide. The dividing time will be much more compared to n value 7. So input matters here. So again, we have to join the elements. We have to concure the elements. For concuring, think of how much time it will take. So time complexity of the divide and concure will depends on how much time we are dividing, how much time we are concuring, and also depends on the input size. Now g of n is the time to compute the answer directly from the small inputs. So g of n mean by a single input we are having. And the previous example we seen 10, the last element. So we are having a single element so that we not applied the n divided by 2 formula. What we done? We directly repeat the same element as it is. So that type of thing will become under g of n. So if it is a very small element, a single element, to computing that particular element, the we can make it directly and we can repeat the same value as it is. And further, the function f of n is the time of dividing the problem p and combining the solution to the sub problems. So f of n will be added with the all divided values, whatever the value we are having in the particular problem. So all the values will be splitted and all the values will be added, and that will be added with the f of n, so that you can able to get the time complexity for the divide and conquer problems. So I hope you understand this slide. So this slide contains the time complexity of divide and conquer, and they resemble g of n, t of n1, n2, n suffix k with f of n. So let's go for the next slide. So recurrence equation for divide and conquer. Recurrence equation for divide and conquer, what they are resembling. So let's see the recurrence equation can be written as n divided by b. So generally instance size will be n, can be divided into b instances. The size will be n divided by b. So assuming n is equal to b power k. So what is mean by this? So whatever the value we are having, that will be divided by the 2. So 2 will be the half of the entire size of the list. So here n is equal to b power k they are telling. So with use of that, they are finding out the recurrence equation for the divide and conquer. T of n will be T of 1 if n is equal to 1. So if there is only one element we are having, means the time complexity for the particular value will be T of n. So we are having one element, that element will be come as it is. For that, we have to apply the n value as 1. So they are substituting T of 1. In the same way, if they are applying n greater than 1, if the n value is greater than 1, the formula can be written as a of t n divided by b plus f of n. So a of t n divided by b plus f of n. So if you are having two elements, a value is 3 and b value is 3, so 3t n divided by 3. So here the formula will be rewritten as 3 will be substituted for a, t n divided by 3 again, because a value and b value are 3, plus f of n will become as it is. So in this case, f of n is the function that accounts for the time spent on the divide the problem into smaller ones and combining the solution. So f of n plays a major role in doing the split up of entire problem into subdivisions, and again it will just combining the all the values, and it will sort out the values inside the list, and finally we are getting the sorted list that will be in the form of incremental manner. So let's see one problem with use of this so that you can able to understand. Let's see the example properly. What they are making, consider the case in which a is equal to 2 and b is equal to 2. So orally I explained a is equal to 3, b is equal to 3. So that I told 3t divided by into n divided by 3 plus n, like that I told. So here the formula f of n, in the place of n I told f of n. Here you see the formula and just they are substituting the values inside the formula. So let's consider a value as 2 and b value as 2. Let t of 1 is equal to 2 and f of n is equal to n. So in this case, how the formula will be retrieved, how the formula will be taken care. So what and all the things they are doing actually. So T of n is the formula. You see the general formula. T of n is equal to A into T of n by n divided by B plus f of n greater than 1. So A value is, what is the A value? A value they given us 2. So 2 will be substituted here. 2t will come. So when you are substituting 2, 2t will come. N divided by B. So n divided by B value is 2. So n divided by 2 will come as it is. Then next to this, what the value plus f of n. F of n, in the place of f of n, what the value they are given? F of n will be n. So 2t n divided by 2 plus n they are giving. So this is the formula replacement with the given value. With the given value, the formula replacement will be go like this. So T of 1, here T of 1 will be 1 in the previous example. Here T of 1 is 2. So T of 1 is 2 means what happens? We are having the particular value that will be having the value T of 1 as 2. So the first position, whatever the first position we are having, here we can apply T of 2. T of 1 is equal to 2, so that initially it will come as 2. So let's substitute one more value in the formula, and you tell me the answer. Let's consider A value as 3 and B value as 5. Please note down, students. A value is 3, B value is 5. F of n is 2n. F of n is 2n. Can you tell me the T of n? Can you tell me the T of n? A value is 3, B value is 5, f of n is 2n. Can you tell me the T of n, students? Please substitute in this formula and tell me the T of n, the second formula. Anyone please respond. A value I told
n by
3t of
5
n by 5 plus 2n.
plus 2n.
3t n divided by 5 plus 2n.
2n.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, let's go for the example 3.2. Look at the following recurrence relation when n is the power of 2. So n is the power of 2. What is the occurrence relation we can able to make that they are making here? So T of n is equal to T of 1 when n minus 1, T of n divided by 2 plus C. So if n greater than 1 means T of n divided by 2 plus C. So the recurrence relation will be changed when the n is power of 2. So n is power of 2 mean by the recurrence relation will be written like this. Now they given one more example. For this example, can you tell me the same? So A value is 2 and B value is 2. F of n is Cn. Can you tell me the T of n, students? A value is 2 and B value is 2 and F of n is C of n. C into n. Cn. Can you tell me the T of n, students? You can substitute in this formula.
So 2t into n by 2 plus Cn.
2t into n divided by 2 plus Cn. So this is the recurrence equation for divide and conquer. So I hope you understand the recurrence relation. So you have to memorize the recurrence relation properly.
Sir, I didn't get power of 2 properly, sir. When n is power of 2. Sir, how to take that, sir?
So n is power.
Is this a special criteria, sir?
Yeah, this
It's
is the
separate.
special criteria. This is the special criteria. For the criteria they given the formula actually.
Okay, sir.
So T of n is equal to T1. T1 they are substituting, and if when n is minus 1, and T of n divided by 2 plus C they are making the value, whatever the value we are giving f of n as C, constant value. So we are putting as C here. So this is the formula when the recurrence is n is a power of 2. So this formula you have to write properly when the n is power of 2. So next to this, they gave one more example. This example you take as a homework. I will upload this example in your Google Classroom, and I will give the solution for this. You go take out this problem as a exercise. I will upload in your Google Classroom, and further I will give the solution for this. So they gave the solution for that particular thing. First you try by yourself, and solution I will upload in the next thing later. Okay. So until now we discussed on recurrence relation. So further we are having binary search algorithm. So binary search algorithm is the starting of algorithm. So until now we've seen the general method and recurrence equation. This is the starting of algorithm. From this you have to concentrate carefully, because from this any one of the algorithm will be asked as a question in the VTU examination. Binary search or finding the maximum and minimum, merge sort, quick sort, or matrix multiplication, or decrease and contour approach, or topological sort. So any one algorithm may be asked as a question in the VTU. So you have to be very much attentive in this things. So let's go for binary search. So binary search problem statement, it's a non-decreasing order problem. We are having the I value a of I, a suffix I value will be 1 less than or equal to I less than n. So we have a list of elements that has to be sorted in a non-decreasing order. Okay, so how it will be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. We should not make a value that is a decreased value. For example, 1, 3, 5 like that. If you are making, means 2 should not come next. So that is come under non-decreasing order. So whatever the value you are making, whatever the sorting you are making, it should be in an incremental order. What we've seen in the list, the same way we are approaching for binary search. Next to this, the problem is to find whether the given element X is present in the list or not. So whatever the element we are having, that is present in the list or not, that is to be the binary search. So the key element we will give as an input. For example, I'm giving 5. The 5 will be available, the value 5 will be available in the binary tree or not, that it will search actually. If it is available, it will just show the element is the key value is available, like that it will show the output. So next to this, what is the solution to show? If the X is present, we have to determine the value element position such as a of j is equal to X. If not exist, then we have to return the j value as 0. So if the key value is present in the binary search, what we have to do is we have to identify the position where it is available, and we have to just retrieve the value and the position and display as output. If the X value is not exist in the list, what we have to do is we have to set the we have to return null, or we have to return 0, like that. So that what the binary search problem definition they are giving here. So according to the problem definition, let's see what the next level. So what is the solution they are given for the binary search? So let's consider P is equal to n comma a suffix I to a suffix l comma x, denote the arbitrary instance for the search problem. So they are considering the value p. Inside the value p, they are having 3 different segregations. The first segregation is n, and second segregation is a of until to a of l, a suffix I to a suffix l, and the third element is x. So what is this 3 particular variable denotes? N denotes the number of elements in the list. What is the n value? N value, how many elements we are giving the list. For example, the number of elements in the list is said to be 5. So what happens? Among 5, we have to find our key value. So what is the key value in this particular variable? X is the key value. So if X is available in the list or not, we have to identify. For that reason, we are adding the X. and number of elements, each and every list of elements. So for example, 5 elements we are giving. No, I am making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The size of the binary tree is 5. Then we are making the particular element in the particular value in the particular binary we are storing as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be considered as a suffix I to a suffix l. So it will start from a of 0, a of 1, a of 2, a of 3, a of 4, like that. So that also to be list of elements. Next to that, we are having the x value that I told already. That is a key element. So according to the key element, what we are giving, it will search the value in the list of elements. If the value available in the list of elements, it will tell that the value is available in this position, like that. If it is not available, it will return 0, or the value is not available in the binary search, like that. It will show the output. So the solution will be given like this. Let's see the next one. So pseudocode for the binary search. How the pseudocode will be written for the binary search? As I told, every algorithm will have the pseudocode. So without pseudocode, we are not able to make out the algorithm. From the pseudocode, they will write the program. So base for every algorithm is pseudocode. Whatever the program you are making, the base for every algorithm is pseudocode. So without the basic knowledge, for example, you are writing the thought, whatever the solution thought you are having, that will be written in the form of natural language. Natural language mean by what? English language. You are writing the points. So basic problem, I am getting one sorting problem. For that sorting problem, how can I will get the solution? I am writing in my natural language. Then natural language content will be converted in the form of pseudocodes, what you are seeing in the screen. Next to that, the pseudocode will be converted in the form of program. So this is the way they will make the program. So the base is pseudocode. So how they are making the pseudocode for binary search? Let's see. So pick an index q in the middle range. So what they are making, they are picking a middle range value, and here I comma l is the range from I to l. This is the elements, list of elements in the particular array. For whatever the binary thing you are having, in that list of elements will be come from starting from I until l we are having. So here the q, whatever the q we are having is n plus 1 divided by 2, and compare x with all aq. So whatever the x value, the key value we are having, that will be compared with all the elements of the a. So a is the sub elements in the particular binary search. So here every element will be searched with the key element. That is step 1. So next, if the key elements is equal to the mid element, whatever the mid element you are identifying, if the key element is equal to the mid element, then we can able to solve the problem immediately. So in the first search itself, we are getting the key element, so that we can able to stop our search and we can print our key value and the position, and the key is available in the particular binary search, and in the position, like that we can display the answer. If the answer is not there, if the key element is not there in the mid element, then what we have to do, we have to go for the step 3. Step 3, what it resembles, if x value is less than a suffix q. So if the s value, whatever the key value we are identifying, if it is less than the value, so we are dividing the particular tree into 2 subparts. We are checking whether the key value is less than value or the key value is greater than value. So if the key value what we are getting is less than the element, then we have to search in the first division part. So what we are doing, we are searching the x value in the first sublist, and we are searching in the first sublist elements. So we can reduce the computation, because we are not searching in the greater element side, we are searching in the smaller element side. So our computation time will be reduces. So we are searching the key element only in the smaller element value. Next to that, if the value is greater value, whatever the value we are searching for, the key value is greater value, then we have to search in the second part of the division. So that side we have to search. So we have to search in the second sublist. So that we have to search in the every subnode, every individual value, whether it is matching or not. So here what the thing we are getting, we are just checking the value is searched in the second subpart, so our time complexity will be reduced. Meanwhile, the time of search will be reduced, because we are not searching in the first part of the list of array. So the first part of the sublist will be denoted as q minus I, comma a suffix I to a of q minus 1, comma x. This is a subpart of first sublist. Second sublist will be the greater values that are represented as L minus I, comma a of a suffix q plus 1 until a of L, a suffix L, comma x. So the two subparts we are having and middle value we are having. So let's consider with a small example. I'm having 7 elements. So I'm having all 7 elements in the incremental order. Let's consider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So all 7 elements I am having. So what I am dividing is I am dividing the value. So how I will divide? I will divide the first 4 and the second 3 like that. So middle element I will have. Let's consider the middle element what we are having, that is the 4. If I am searching for 6, it will check with the middle element first. The middle element value is 4, so that is not matching. So it will go for it will check whether the given value is 6, no. Given value, the key value is in the greater value or smaller value, it will check. If it is greater value, it will go for the second division and it will search from 5, 6, 7, it will search with the key value. If the key value is less than, it will search with the 1, 2, 3. So according to the key value, it will search with 2 subdivisions, so 2 sublists, which list having the particular value that will be retrieved and the position will be retrieved and displayed as output. So this is the 4th step of binary search. So with use of this, they are identifying the answer as possible. So this is the form of recursive binary search algorithm. So this is in the form of programming code. So programming code we are having as BIN search, and they are having the list of elements as array. So A of array size they are giving because we have to give all the elements in the array, and we are starting the first element as int I, and the last element as L, and the key element as X. So this is the denotion of the method function, how they are representing the binary search. Inside that we are having if condition. If the mid element, whatever the mid element we are considering, if it is if it is x value is equal with the mid element, then we are just returning 0. We are returning the mid element. If the value is not matching with the mid element, we are returning 0. So x equal to a of j. What is the j mean by? The mid element we are checking with the x value. X value resembles the key value. If we are searching for the value, if the mid element is matching with the key value, then we are taking that as a value identified in the list, identified in the binary search, like that we are displaying as output. If that is not available, we are returning 0. Then second condition, if else equal to I, so whatever the I value we are having, if it is if the condition is small, whatever the value we are getting, the key value we are getting, if it is less than value of the given set of elements, then we have to check in the first subpart. So first subpart we are checking here with use of this code. If the value we got, then we have to return the I value, otherwise we have to return 0. Then if it is greater than the value, then we have to go for the next one. So all the 3 cases we have to check. So one is greater element, and another one is lesser than value, another one is if it is come under the middle value. So these 3 parts you have to consider properly. So now next to this, we are having the same code. Further it's extended like this. So if it is in the higher value, as I told, the third part, if it is in the higher value, we have to go for this code. So lower value, higher value, and mid value. For 3 things, we have 3 conditions, and all 3 things they wrote in the form of code. So let's consider the given way. So they give an example. So 14 elements are there. Please listen. 15, minus 6, 0, 7, 9, 23, 54, 82, 101, 112, 125, 131, 142, 151. These are the elements given as the input. 14 entries they given. In this X value, the key value what we have to search for is 151. Keep in mind the key value what we have to search for is 151. So what they are making the low, high and mid. So low, high and mid they are making actually. So with use of low, high and mid, they are identifying whether the key value is available or not. So this one I will explain clearly in the next session. So I hope you understand. I will explain the binary search with a real-time example. I will take one problem and I will sort out the problem like how I shown you the divide and conquer. The same way I will show you the binary search in very detailed manner so that you can able to understand this particular problem in detailed manner. Dear students, I hope you understand this particular concept very well.